back to another episode of Spilling the LT. I'm your host, Tamara Gady. I'm very excited for my next episode of the podcast today, and I have two amazing guests with me, and I know you're really going to enjoy this show. First, I have Christina White with the Christina White Group at Compass Real Estate. She has 22 years of experience. She specializes in luxury home sales, and so I wanted her to come on the show today and talk to us about luxury homes and the market trends and things that we're seeing inside of luxury homes right now. She's also a very valued client and friend, so I'm very blessed to have her on the show today. And I asked her to bring along with her Mark Lafferty. He is the CEO of The Interior Dallas. He has two locations, one in the beautiful Highland Park area and another one in a prestigious design district. And he has over 20 years experience in interior decorating, but he's also moved into home renovations and remodeling as well. So he's got some fun things to show us today about design trends in luxury homes. And so I'm very excited to kick off today. Mark and Christina, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Glad that you're here. So let's kick things off. I had a statistic that I wanted to kind of use to kind of set the tone for today. This was a statistic as of the end of 2021. Texas $1 million home sales increased nearly 90%. And I thought that was a pretty big deal in the luxury home market because traditionally those homes stay on the market longer. They take a little longer to sell. The buyers are not as prevalent as something in more the $200,000 to $500,000 range, right? So it takes a lot of skill and professionalism to be able to sell those homes, right? And so I thought that the increase, now of course we've seen an increase in inventory across the board, but I really liked the increase in the luxury statistics. And so I thought that'd be a good tone for today. So Christina, I'd like to ask you the first question, if that's all right. So let's talk about the local market and kind of what you've done in the last year and what you've seen as far as the luxury homes moving, and trading on the local market.
Well, in the real estate market, it's continually changing. And like you just mentioned, we've definitely seen that in the luxury arena with the spike in so many people moving to Texas. And why wouldn't you want to move to Texas? It's got glorious weather, friendly people.
Not today.
Well, not today. Not today.
It's 34 degrees outside right now.
It's one day, unfortunately. It's not. But traditionally,
yes,
we have beautiful sunshine. But what's changed the total environment with the COVID coming in, that a lot more people now are able to work from home.
Yeah.
So with that said, being able to work from home, we're seeing a lot of people relocating because they can live where they like to live, sunny Texas, and work from home. Maybe they want to be closer to their family. So a lot of this has spiked the increase in pricing. It's all about supply and demand.
Yes,
that
ma'am.
never changes. So we've seen a lot of homes previously, say in 2019, that were in the 800,000, 900,000 range. Now they're hitting the million and above.
Isn't that so interesting?
I've never seen a market like this in 22 years.
I think it's very interesting that the luxury price point has moved.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you're seeing a lot of the production builders, they're trying to keep up and they have lists of potential buyers. Mm-hmm. But what's affecting those numbers a little bit is that these buyers are going to several different luxury home builders and putting their name on the list. And then when the builders call them back, they've found something else or they've changed their mind. So it's affecting those numbers a little bit.
Sure.
So some of the home builders are saying, okay, let's get you pre-qualified.
Yep.
And giving them, like, they're committed also, or they know we've got a true buyer here.
Yeah, it's been very interesting because a lot of the strategic moves that you've made as a realtor has had to change so much over the last 18 months or whatever it has been. So I know that we've seen a record number of contract terminations in our office as well, simply for things that you're talking about, people putting in multiple, offers on multiple properties or, whatever the case may be. And so we've seen a lot of that kind of fallout. It's slowed down some, but I had one client in December who submitted I want to say 3 different contracts on the same property over $1 million. It was an over $1 million property. And so obviously we were trying to get that closed by the end of the year, right?
Right.
But I thought it was really interesting that, and I didn't talk to her about why the contract kept falling out. Obviously the escrow officer had been working with her on that. But I still thought that the amount of contracts coming back and forth on that one property was very interesting. So we're still seeing the fallout from that. And I think we will continue to see that into this year. But.
Right. And I think, to your question there, that the home buyers are coming in, they're going over and above list, way over and above list.
Yep.
And then when it comes to the financing, they can't get that financing, so they're dropping out. So, again, my team and myself, we surround ourselves with the top people. So hopefully we don't get that situation. Well, we don't. Because we get them pre-qualified, we ensure they're, eligible to buy that home if they go over and above. A lot of these clients are signing the addendum for appraisal.
Right.
And unfortunately, they're not getting approved.
Are you seeing a lot of cash in the high-end homes?
A lot of cash, a lot of cash. And we're seeing buyers coming from not only California anymore, but we're seeing them from all over the States. I even have a client coming in from Canada.
Oh, you do?
Absolutely. We have New York, we have Arizona, Chicago. I mean, they're just coming from all the different states, which is great. It used to be like just California buyers.
Right.
But they're realizing what Texas has to offer. So with my team, again, I work with them from start to finish. We may have admins to assist in the back, but what makes us different is we do hold the hand from the very start to the very finish. I personally go in, if a home's going to be on the market, I will go in, walk through, ensure that everything looks perfect for photography. If it needs to be staged, that's where Mark comes in. And I definitely believe a luxury property that's vacant has to be staged. That's why production builders stage their models. There's a reason they do that. You have to have it staged. You'll get more return on your investment. So we're continually thinking about that. It's not about just putting the home on the market. Well, what does that home need to get the best return?
And I think that's a great segue to bring Mark into the conversation. So do you attend the initial walkthrough with Christina to see what these high-end, these luxury properties will need?
I attend the second walkthrough.
The second walkthrough.
Second walkthrough.
So after the listing agreement has been signed,
absolutely.
Then you go.
And
with
at that point, we come in there and look at the number that they feel like they can sell the home for, and what we need to do to it to achieve the maximum potential for the seller's profit, and also the shortest amount of time it's going to be on the market. Because when it's fixed and it's ready to go, then they're able to sell it quickly. And within days now, some of our
within days, even in this market, I think a lot of people are feeling, or agents are feeling, well, we don't need to do all that anymore. But absolutely opposite. You still continue to do that because, again, it's all about getting the highest price for that home.
Right.
And staging is huge. Always has been, always will be.
Well, the homeowner, they don't want to have to come in and do anything. They want to be able to walk in to their new home and be able to move in. It be move-in ready. Or working with the seller, what we'll do a lot is we'll come in there and look at the floors, and we'll say, okay, what if we strip the floors down to the natural wood and then go back with a taupey gray and bring in something like this right here. This immediately enlarges the room. It updates the home. We also then come in and change out the countertops. We'll take down a lot of the bars that are in the kitchen area. You know how they had the higher bar with the lower counter. We'll take that out, open that up. And you're talking about, cost of tens of thousands, which is going to bring back at least 3 to 4 times what you're spending on the home. Is going to bring that back to you when you sell it.
Are you seeing that the majority of the homes that you two go in and walk through together immediately need some sort of updating or change to them? Is this a high percentage of the houses that you look at need something added to them before it gets listed?
Yeah. Even if it's just paint or countertops. It may be as simple as that.
Right.
Or it may be more of a remodel. But there's traditionally something that needs to be done. I mean, people are looking for this bright, open spaces.
Your two major areas are the kitchen and the master bedroom, the bathroom, master bathroom. And those are the two areas that we specialize in, are the bathrooms and the kitchen, to update those, to open up a wall, give yourself more of an open floor plan. This is what you're trying to do here. And, you know, then when the new homeowner, they come in, then we're able to, if they want to add wallpaper and say you want to do something to your master bedroom, make it elegant, or you want to, you know, there's everything from the taupes, the blues, the greens, same pattern, but this is where they're just on one wall in the back of the bed, or the feature wall. And in the bar area, something striking, you know, really being able to, you know, make that bar area special, or that one area in the media room something different and special in their medias. And you know, this is a little more blingy, but this works, and it adds that special jewel tone that you want. Then with all of the wood tones, and just a little element of texture here to this. So truly, you're really adding a lot of these different things that make it more special, to make it the new homeowner's home.
Well, let's back up a second, okay? Because I'm super excited about the samples that you brought today. I want to back up, though, a second. So as far as design trends in the home, okay, that's kind of what we're starting to talk about here.
Got it.
So you mentioned that the bedroom and the bathroom and the kitchen were the main items that were of concern to your buyers that come into a luxury home, okay? And so just as broad strokes, what are they looking for? They want the tub out, they want a big standalone shower, they want the tub. What are the kind of the major design features that people are asking for inside of these luxury homes? Let's start there, and then we'll kind of talk about the actual like design, the colors and things that are in trend right now.
Well, I think, again, going back to, there are more people now working from home. They want a really nice study. They want the open concept. If they have children, they want the large secondary bedrooms. They want a game room. So again, we focus on even the outside patio area, barbecue. We're in Texas, so everybody wants to go outside and barbecue. So the outside space.
The outdoor living is critical.
I think that's a big deal too. Yeah,
absolutely. It's huge.
We put in even the space heaters outside to extend that time throughout the year.
Okay, so you do work on the backyard as well,
the entire house.
Okay,
from start to finish as well. And this is how that we really are able to satisfy the client. So they're busy. They need they need a team, a firm that can come in there and hear them. They have to listen to them, understand what they want us to achieve, and we then take it from there and start to present to them all the trends, whether it's changing the faucets, and right now the brushed brass, and we see this as a major trend, and black also.
Isn't it so funny that brass is back?
Isn't it, though?
It's always so
really,
interesting to me.
is.
So I bought a new investment property, not $1 million plus, but we were walking through there, and it was a 1980s home, and literally, I don't think it's ever been renovated. And although it's not the same brass that we're talking about today, it did have a bunch of brass in the house. And I said, isn't it so, I should just leave all this because it's all on trend. It is a different brand of brass. I agree.
It's all brush.
But I think it's really interesting that brass it all comes back, right?
It truly does.
But this flooring color is interesting to me before we kind of move on to the faucets and things like that. This flooring color is interesting to me because and forgive me, I am not you, Mark. I don't claim to know everything there is to know about interior design.
I'm learning every day.
But I thought we were moving away from the grays more, but I think this is absolutely
like
stunning.
A taupey gray.
But what you're saying is the difference is the taupe.
Yes, ma'am. We're adding that natural element, the taupe to it. And then you see how a wallpaper just really blends with this beautifully, you know, and just you just touch that.
Well, and this is a beautiful color because it will go with so many things, right? It's
Correct.
a neutral, right?
Correct.
So that you can put in the rugs and the pieces of furniture and the wall hangings that will really make it pop. But I thought the color was interesting. I really like it.
And if you're trying to sell a home like we have done for so many years, you want to go with something that'll fit with more and more people's their decor, and that's what you're trying to do right now, is to try to make that home where it's going to sell quickly, then people will understand and be able to, you know, move right in.
Well, you know, when you stage a home, you take out all the personal touches, and it needs to be very neutral.
That's so important.
This accomplishes that, right?
So important. You know, ask people to depersonalize, because we're getting the home ready stage to sell. So there's a big difference in show ready versus when you live there. When you live there, you can be comfortable, but again, it makes a big difference when you're trying to neutralize, you know, take any personal items out that detracts from the home itself. So very important.
Well, and it's so that the buyer can visualize living there.
Exactly.
They can't do it with everybody's
No.
Other people's family photos.
Yes.
So I thought this was. I love I love the color of the neutral for this floor, and I think it's a very beautiful floor that you brought with you today.
And we go by all of the color standards, and there's many tones of the taupe and the woods, and this is where that we are truly taking this part here and coming away from anything with red in it. And so if we are going brown, it's a darker brown.
Okay, that's
more
good
like
to know.
More like a Santa Barbara feel, with the light walls and the dark beams, the dark wood, something like that. And the heavy hand scrapes are definitely going away from
Going
that.
away.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's where things are trending. And I see this as a long-lasting.
You do.
It's here to stay.
Okay.
It's here to stay.
And I think when you're talking about renovations or getting a house ready to sell, and you're spending, this isn't 99 cents a foot.
No. But we're talking about a luxury home.
You're talking about a luxury home, and so I think it's important when you're spending this kind of money to do things that you want to have. Some things that are really, you know, on trend, but something like this, you don't want to change out the floor every time a trend changes. So.
Right.
And it's messy.
And it's very messy.
It's messy, and it takes time. And we work with the homeowner. We help them to pack and move and see what needs to be taken out and what needs to go. And it's a journey. And it's painful, and you know, for people it is. It is. And no, you have to be honest.
Because this is their house, and their babies may have been born there.
That's right.
And all of these things that make it very personal to them. And your job, which you do very well, is to have kind of get them to step out of that and realize that this is now a real estate transaction.
Right.
And so I bet that proposes a larger challenge for you sometimes, Christina.
Sometimes it does. I think you take it slowly. I'm not one of those roofers who's like slap in the face. It's like, okay, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that. And then at that point, then I bring Mark in, because he's the expert in design.
Right.
And they appreciate that and realize that. So we have excellent clients, we really do. And again, how we differentiate, it's that we are with them from start to finish. For me, whether it's a sale of a property, whether it's a buyer, we really, really listen to our clients. Makes a huge difference. And we're there from start to finish, personally, one-on-one, which, you know, some teams may push them to admins.
Sure.
We don't do that. We're totally focused on our clients personally.
Do you, when someone's getting ready, these are gorgeous, by the way. I'm kind of in love with this one, Mark. We may have to talk later.
No problem.
And I love all the different samples that you brought today. So thank you so much. I mean, some of these are just absolutely, I don't know if you guys can see this really well. I wish you could touch it. You know, you can't, but this is absolutely stunning.
Textures.
This is absolutely stunning.
Textures
this is so
key
beautiful.
In wall coverings, textures key in fabrics.
So, Christina, is this something that you would recommend someone do while they're trying to get their house ready for sale? Because I think this is a personal touch. This falls more into the personal touch.
But again, if you keep it neutral,
Okay.
because you have to appeal to as many people as possible.
Sure.
So like Mark said, if we can keep things neutral, not too personal when you're putting a home on the market, but by doing these things, it will definitely bring the return on your investment.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it's all about first impressions.
Okay.
Particularly a buyer could walk in a property and within 10 seconds, they've made their mind up whether they want to continue looking through the home or they're done.
Okay. And that makes sense.
It's that important.
Okay. And so kind of, I know you put your faucets down, Mark, but you had a
Bring it
black
back.
one and a brass one.
Absolutely.
And I think, so this, are you seeing this trend, not just in faucets, but kitchen hardware? And
Knobs, handles. And most people right now are going from knobs to handles everywhere. So we're having to adjust that. So the handles, but the black and
the brass.
the brushed brass, these are the two trends.
Okay.
Absolutely. A lot of this in your master, a lot of this in your kitchen,
Okay.
a lot of this in your secondary, the bathrooms and
Interesting.
stuff
Okay.
as well. Okay. Depends on the style of the home.
Sure.
Okay. And if it's got straight lines, then they're more into the black and the neutral, and then they're also doing brush nickel right now as
Okay.
well.
Yep.
Okay,
I see a lot of
So-
that in the builders that like Highland and
Exactly.
they're putting the brush
Exactly.
on, or at least
Exactly.
they did. And they're doing that in my neighborhood. I live in a new construction neighborhood, and so they did the brass nickel in my home, and I still haven't picked out my poles because I'm being very particular about it. Right. And I love that you said that you can do the black in a secondary bathroom, because that's exactly what I was looking at doing. I don't want black in everywhere.
No.
Right. But you can have, I'm looking at the same company, the same poles, they're just different finishes on the poles.
Absolutely. And we're changing out the countertops, the Vena hoods,
Changing them from what to what? The
from
countertops.
a built-in to a metal to something on the Vena hood, just to give you a little more texture, to make the home a little more personal, a little more, that wow factor to come into it in the kitchen.
And the countertops, I know that's changed. Now that we're doing the
Quartz
A
waterfall.
lot of that. The quartz is a great material. It really truly lasts, performs. Takes the abuse of a family that is going to use it.
Okay.
And whereas the granite, it's a standard. We are not using that much granite right now. And I am using a lot of quartzite, and we're even lighting these up like in a bar. We'll
yeah.
light the counter right there. On the kitchen, on the island, we'll light the island up. And it's an expense, but it is a definite game changer.
I bet it makes a really big
and
wow
for these
factor.
homes that we do, they're in there to that 7 figures and up, and they demand their homes to be very personal and very catching. And they want people to feel comfortable, but they want to also have a statement in what they're doing. So, and a lot of the furniture, neutrals are still off-white, the taupes, these colors. So what we're doing is we're adding pillows, we're adding fabrics to all this. The animal print, a new way to do the animal prints, very, very strong.
Very chic.
Very,
Beautiful,
very
yeah.
strong. Neutrals again. This is the geometric design. And this is all very texture. The weaves pulls in a ton of colors.
But it's subtle. It doesn't.
Very subtle.
Yeah.
Not in your face.
Correct.
Exactly. And it all works together. Look, and these.
So you would put all of those together?
No. I would put something like this and this
one
together. Right, this
Okay.
together. Right, exactly. And then this would be on its own, just as a pillow to go. But here you are, and these are the pillow sizes, things like this. And this green you're saying right now, the forest green, the Kelly green. These are things that are very much so.
So that's a very big trend color
Yes,
right
ma'am.
now is the Kelly.
Exactly. And the Kelly and the forest.
And the forest green.
I personally like the forest. I think it's long lasting and more casual.
This is a beautiful leather.
Thank you.
So would you do an entire couch in this?
Do a
with
sofa in that, exactly.
Okay.
Or do a sofa or do a chair with the fabric and do the piping in something like this, and just really make it special, whatever you want to do. And so with this, your shades, your blinds, no more shutters. Shutters are absolutely
No more shutters.
We're taking shutters out of homes.
No more shutters.
It's all shades. We are a Hunter Douglas. We are their authorized healer for the Dallas area, and have been doing this now for about 10 years and have a great partnership with them. And again, when someone spent a lot of money on their shutters, they're like, oh my gosh. But when you take it down and you put in a shade, it completely opens up the room.
Of natural light.
And it opens up your space. It makes it larger. It enlarges it. And my own personal home, it's painful. I've got oh my God. And
it's going to be less painful for you, Mark.
No. Well, my wife says, open up the front door and take it all out and start all over. I said, no, wait a second. So I understand what our clients are doing. I'm living the same dream they are, you know. And my kids are, they would say, oh, Dad, we want to do this and want to do that. I said, well, what about your Western theme? What about this? Well, Dad, that was for when I was a kid. And I said, okay, so we just kind of, roll with it and make it happen. And everyone's living at home now. Everyone's, and we're going to be at home.
And it's back on the rise again. And so we're kind of wondering, how much of that's going to go back.
Right. And honestly, Christina and I have sold some magnificent homes and have incredible outdoor areas. And prior to COVID, did people really use it as much as they could have and should have? No, they were going out, they were traveling, they were doing different things.
So it's
now,
so important.
Now they're using it, and they love it, and they love having their family involved and their friends coming over and small, intimate get-togethers. This is what they've really. I believe that COVID, yes, it's been a terrible, terrible situation, but it has truly made the family more focused and on themselves, on their families, on what's important, and the home is something that they're spending money on, and everyone's doing it on every level. So I'm very pleased, blessed, honored to be a part of it. Our showroom is at the corner of Inwood and Lovers Lane. The interior, Dallas, is the site, and we love to work with people and help to make their vision come true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I think I've never had show and tell on the show before. So I really love the samples. I'm like,
you told me to bring it.
And I'm going to need some of this wallpaper, and I might need a pillow. I'm not really sure yet, but I've seen pictures of your showroom, obviously on Christina's social media. And so I think the showroom is absolutely stunning. I don't get down to Dallas as much as I used to, but definitely have enjoyed seeing your partnership and seeing, the beautiful showroom that you have there. And I'm sure the Design District showroom is equally as stunning. So
it's in work right now.
But I really like show and tell. So we're going to have to do this again.
Okay. I should have brought some show and tell.
You should have brought some show and tell.
With Christina, she's so good. She's sold all of her shows.
Sure.
So she can just tell right now.
Right.
It's really, the thing about it is that our clients are reinvesting in their home, and they're really enjoying it right now. So as she's seeing a lot of the newness come in, it's all from out of state. Now we are having our clients who I've had for 20 years who said, now they want to downsize. What they end up doing is when they see the home and they see they want to downsize, they get possibly something even larger.
Yeah.
And I've seen this over and over and over because they say, you know what, I do not want to do this. Or else they downsize and they buy a secondary property and they completely start over. They say, okay, everything in the other house, I want it gone, I want it done. And this is all ages. I've got clients in their 70s and early 80s that are completely remodeling, recoloring, redoing because they're going to live and enjoy it.
Sure.
And that's what we've really, truly been a part of and seen in the last 5 years. It's just been a beautiful journey,
It has.
And prior to COVID, we were doing all this to help people to maximize their home's value
Right.
and to sell it quickly. And now we're working with the new homeowners who's come into the home and now making it their personal touch. So we'd already done some of the things to the home, and now we're taking it to the next step for the new homeowner.
Sure.
So that's a wonderful thing whenever the existing homeowner refers to us and says, y'all need to call the interior, and I just feel like this is some way that I'm able to play it forward every day.
Well,
So thank you for having us, and thank you
course.
for doing all this, truly, and let me know what else that we can do to be a part of your team.
absolutely. And so this is a great place to wrap up for today, I think. And so I want to say thank you to you, Christina, for being
thank
such a
you.
valued friend and partner to us. And so I feel very blessed to have the relationship that we have with you. And so thank you for coming on the show with me today. And we'll have you back again because this was really fun for me. I hope it was fun for you.
It was. We really appreciate it, so that we can talk about the market and actually what's going on, how our partnership works together. So.
And Mark, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
For bringing all the beautiful samples and for giving us your tips and design trend ideas. I'm sure that will be very helpful to our viewers. So thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Spilling the LT. I'm your host, Tamara Gady. Make sure that you go onto all of our social media platforms, especially YouTube, and subscribe to our channel. Like, share, and comment on our post, and so you will make sure to stay up to date with all things real estate. Make it a great day.